hell? Whoa, welcome back, Alexandrian Codex, Dragon Age Origins. Oh, this is the 9th session, and each of these has gone on for at least 3 hours, and oh my god. I don't remember this game being so long. I mean, I remember it being, you know, a truly epic experience. Oh, but holy shit, I think I'm dragging it out with reading out all the text and... well, sitting around and talking, too. Which, to be honest, this made it a lot more sufferable. A lot less unsufferable. Maybe is how I should phrase that. Now... I have to have somebody in my party to use their crafting ability. That kind of blows. Yeah, herbalism will end up being useful in the long run. So I should keep all these damn herbalism components. Isn't there, like, a fucking party chest in here? Am I high? I swear to God that used to be a thing, but... maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of newer games. I want a party chest so I can just yeet all the things into it, not think about it anymore. Alright, I need you.
Yes.
Because we need to have an encounter on the road where you get... weird. I don't need you. We have your quest. We don't have your marshalling quest yet. We have your quest. Doggo doesn't get a quest. Alistair... haven't gone to Redcliffe, and that's mostly tied into his shit. Sten, we just have to find a sword. So... yes.
Indeed.
Let's do the fucking Deep Roads thing. Let's... send me to Orzammar, buddy. I'm going back in. Shale has a quest to do down here, and... oh.
Sire, I have more news. Yes. Well, it seems that the fighting has gone exactly as you...
I would like to know what you intend to accomplish, Father. Should we not be fighting the Darkspawn instead of each other?
The nobility should be brought into line and then the Darkspawn defeated. This is no true blight, Honora. Only Kaelin's vanity demanded it be so.
Beg pardon, sire. But blight or no, we may not have the manpower to face the Darkspawn soon.
Kaelin approached your legions for support, did he
Never!
not?
Marek and I drove those bastards out! Not roll out the welcome for them now!
We need help, Father. We cannot deal with this crisis alone.
Ferelden will stand on its own! I will lead it through this, Honora. You must have faith in me.
Did you kill Kaelin?
Kaelin's death was his own doing.
Press X to doubt, etc. Oh, it's Zevran time. Okay. Alright. We all set up with our various abilities here? Yeah, you have Cleansing Aura. Liliana's just gonna shoot at stuff.
Oh, thank the Maker. We need help. They attacked the wagon. Please help us. Follow me. I'll take you to them.
I don't believe you, but I can't not follow you. Hello, Zevran.
Trap right ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, we're not in combat yet, Liliana. You wanna...
Trap right ahead.
and then another one up there. Can I just ignore them and take care of these traps first? Let's give that a go. Shit! I like that jumpy bird that's just in the background everywhere. Hey, Zevran. Hey, buddy. The birds! Hop, 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 hop. fuck!
The Grey Warden dies here!
That's quite a yell. Chaotic bisexual energy incarnate, has character. Love him or hate him, he's, well, he's memorable. You're a fucking mage, aren't you? Oh, hold up. I don't want to be Liliana.
And you'll never know what hit him.
Nope. 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 Stop it. I'm sorry, Zevran. Okay. I mean, a bunch of assassins that I gotta take out next, and that's not really fun, but that's easy, comparatively. I say before just getting stunlocked into oblivion. The elven assassin is wounded and unconscious, but alive. You could tie him up and talk to him, if you wished.
Oh, what? I rather thought I would wake up dead, or not wake up at all, as the case may be. But I see you haven't killed me yet.
Well, that could be easily rectified.
Of that I have no doubt. You are most skilled. If you haven't killed me, however, you must have kept me alive for some purpose, yes?
Roughly glib for a prisoner?
It is my way, or so I am told. Let's see then. I assume you kept me alive to ask me some questions, yes? If so, let me save you time and get right to the point. My name is Zevran. Zev to my friends. I am a member of the Antivan Crows, brought here for the sole purpose of slaying any surviving Grey Wardens, which I have failed at, sadly.
And who hired you?
A rather taciturn fellow in the capital.
Good word.
Loren, I think his name was. Yes, that's it.
How much were you paid?
I wasn't paid anything. The Crows, however, were paid quite handsomely, or so I understand. Which does make me about as poor as a Chantry mouse, come to think of it. Being an Antivan Crow isn't for the ambitious, to be perfectly honest.
Then why are you one?
Well, aside from a distinct lack of ambition, I suppose it's because I wasn't given much of a choice. The Crows bought me young. I was a bargain, too, or so I'm led to believe. But don't let my sad story influence you. The Crows aren't so bad. They keep one well supplied. Wine, women, men, whatever you happen to fancy. Though the whole severance package is garbage, let me tell you. If you're considering joining, I'd really think twice about it.
I'll take that under advisement.
You seem like a bright girl. I'm sure you have other options.
And you're telling me all of this why?
Why not? I wasn't
the audio
paid for
just cut out.
silence. Not that I offered it for sale, precisely.
Well, did it cut out, or is it just my headphones? Aren't you at least loyal to your employers? Oh, now it's cut out for real. Loyalty is an interesting concept. If we wish and you're done interrogating me, we can discuss it further. Okay, I'm listening, make it quick. Here's the thing, I failed to kill you, so my life is forfeit. That's how it works. If you don't kill me, the Crows will. Just looking at Zevran's O face here. Okay. Thing is, I like living, and you obviously are the sort to give crows pause, so let me serve you instead. And why would I want your service? Why? Because I'm skilled at many things. Fighting, to stealth, picking locks. I could also warn you, should the Antivan Crows attempt something more sophisticated, now that my attempts have failed. I could also stand around and look pretty, if you prefer. Warm your bed, fend off unwanted suitors. No? Oh, the bed warming might be nice. See? I knew we could find a common interest. Or two. Or three. Really, I can go all night. What shall it be? I'll even shine armor. You won't find a better deal, I promise. Yeah, alright, Zevran, you're in. Having an Steven Crow might join us sounds like a fine plan. Oh, another companion to be, then. Wasn't aware such loveliness existed amongst adventurers. Sure, it is so weird. Their mouths are just open, but no dialogue is happening. Or maybe not. What fucking happened here? What curse has descended upon the game? Oh god, Okay, thank you. Alright, headphones off. Huh. My headphones aren't connecting to the Bluetooth. That's, Oh, that's fun. That's fun, isn't it? Yeah, that's not my headset. Those are my actual speakers. No, we don't want that at all. No, you gotta love Bluetooth. Absolutely gotta love it. And by that I mean you, under no circumstances, have to love it. Well, thank God. I have another fucking pair of Bluetooth headphones. Can you mayhaps connect to these? No, you can't. Alright, these are on. Da 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 da. Love technical difficulties. Oh, okay. Now it just beeped. Headphones, did you die? If you died, it's okay. We can just cut it early for today. But I didn't get any, like, dying sound. Just the audio cut out entirely. Okay. Well, fun. Well, that's unfortunate. It's a nice little introduction to Zevran, and I personally quite find it charming. But not charming enough that I'm wanting to do that whole dealio over with. We got Zevran, an Antivan Crow, a great Antivan Crow. Friends of Red Jenny, the task you were promised but never promised to be easy. You said you could enter the Circle Tower, you were believed. Find the small painted box in First Enchanter Irving's office, delivered to the door marked in Denerim as agreed, or be prepared to find yourself hunted across Ferelden. Friends of Red Jenny. There's a sketch map of several doors. Requires a box to be placed on a block on it to block out false leads. Good God, I can't read. No, I was gonna say maybe it is my headphones, just the batteries were dead. No, they've been charging overnight. And even if they were on, these things have an absurdly long battery life. I love them. Absolutely love them. I've had them for years. Are they the highest quality things in the world? No, I'm sure you can find higher quality headphones, but these are more than competent.
This should be easy enough.
There's some traps over here I wanted to stumble into. By that I mean disarm. No, they just disappeared. Huh. Okay. Well, we can get to know Zevran a little bit later. I guess. Or we can do it right now. No, we're traveling. Well, we can wait until we get to Orzammar. Yeah, we can do it later.
It's hard to believe we have a king again.
Yeah, hard to believe. Ancestors truly favor the Idukins. Yeah, that's what it is, and it's not just my political persuasions. Nope. It's the ancestors. What up, losers? It's Deep Roads time. Going to the Cadash Thaig. Shale has a dim memory of a bustling dwarven Thaig nestled somewhere amongst the deep roads. Cadash Thaig. I remember this being weird. Not bad, just weird. Never mind. Guess we can just do this. Oh, hello. Nope. Glad to know Shrieks, my absolute least favorite Darkspawn enemy, are here. Is that true? Are they my least favorite? No. No, Emissaries are my least favorite. Shrieks, second least favorite, maybe. Just invisible enemies can be
as you wish.
Can be annoying. Remember in the first area where we fought Darkspawn all of those dozens of hours ago now? Where there are Genlock rogues that are invisible. They're actually using their sneak ability and you can hit them if you know where to go. Notice how there are no sneaky Genlocks anywhere after that? Yeah, there's some teleporting Genlocks, but that's really about it. Kinda strange.
This is it. Cadash Thaig.
This is where you're from?
Perhaps. It may also be where I was found. These ruins are always overrun by vermin. There may be something noteworthy further in, however.
Oh. That's why we're here.
This is the home once. Did I live here?
I couldn't tell you, Shale. Oh no. I'm having very unpleasant associations with this place and I don't know why. I know I don't like it here. I don't know why I don't like it here. That's not a good feeling.
Desperation is an ugly perfume.
Buddy, you seem to be mildly upset. Is there any reason why that is? Did somebody, oh, I don't know, cast several storms on top of you and enjoy your lamentations? No? I think what I'm remembering is about 1 million fucking Deep Stalkers at one point, which, you know, we just got through the rest of the Deep Roads. You'll recall early on in the Deep Roads that was a thing.
This should be easy enough.
But mercifully, they stopped doing it after a while. I think they pulled the same horse shit in here where it's like, ooh, a few Deep Stalkers, a few more Deep Stalkers, a few more Deep Stalkers. And by the time you're done, there's like 30 of the fucking things that are dead. Yeah, I distinctly recall that. Oh well, c'est la vie. It's par for the course. It's not that big of a deal, I just remember it being unpleasant. speaking of unpleasant... Resist. Yeah, good. Just start out with the resist. That's not deeply troubling. Just resisting all the things. This emissary's bullshit? I mean, it's dead, but damn. Resist on resist on resist on resist. You detected that trap and yet just walked right into it. Alright, Shale, you do you. Maybe we'll just do side quests today. That doesn't sound unpleasant. After spending so long in the deep roads.
Allow me.
Could be nice to
do that for you.
See the countryside. Travel around a little bit. Though, it is noteworthy. Damn! That's quite an amulet. 12 constitution, -3 strength, and -3 willpower. It's good for...
I see nothing. Whatever was once here is gone.
Ooh, no, you're fighting the deep stalkers too. Hello friends. Listen, I am interested. Just want to hit them first. Y'all can walk out. Yep, go after Shale. Thank you. Perfect. Beautiful. Okay. Let's deal with these fine, annoying little monsters. Damn, Shale, you hit hard. Bye, Shale. I'll miss you. Can't see a damn thing. Good God, they, still hanging out here, huh?
On your guard! Make it free!
Quite a few of them. Yeah, quite a few of them.
It's done.
Thank you.
Right.
If only I'd had Liliana in the deep roads, we could have gotten, incrementally more experience. But,
On it.
then we wouldn't have had Shale for the very end there. Or Ogren, one of the two. Or a healer. I guess I could have run 2 warriors and no healer, but...
Right ahead.
I don't feel like that would have ended well. What trap? What are you talking about? Did you detect a trap up down there? Oh, okay. What a weird place for a trap. But okay. Oh, who am I to complain? It's 40 more experience. Ba 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 ba.
As you wish. Let's get started.
XP is such an interesting abbreviation. It's short for experience points, which sure as shit does not start with the letter X.
Right.
The P, is it just an abbreviation of experience? EXP, cut the E out, leave the XP? Or is it abbreviation
As
of
you wish.
experience points, where the X stands for experience, the P stands for points? Does it matter? No, not really. Like, not at all. You're more or less, and
Let's
by
get
more or
started.
less, I mean entirely conveying the exact same thing either way. But I think traditionally, experience points has been the
Careful.
vernacular
Might
used,
upset.
more so than just experience. But experience has replaced that vernacular usage in more contemporary games. I mean, even the whole concept of XP has become so disassociated from the concept of experience. Like the idea that you only get XP from killing things. Well, then it's combat experience, and that sort of makes sense. But in like D&D, the original D&D, experience and levels were tied directly to how much gold you got. Which is an interesting commentary on the idea of becoming more experienced. You become more experienced by accumulating wealth. And wealth directly gives you power. It's such an arbitrary way to determine skills and expertise is just based purely on experience. There are many people who are incredibly experienced at working in a certain field, but are not good at it, or not exemplars of it. Like, say you have a city guard, a cop, right? A cop who has worked their entire adult life as a protector of the peace, or, you know, servant of the ruling class, whatever you, enforcer of the ruling class, whatever you want to say. They are not going to necessarily be the best fighters in the world, or the best marksmen in the world. They're just good at that career, and they've spent a lot of time at that career. Gotten in a lot of fights. Okay, then you can look at a police, I don't know, commissioner, or an attorney general, or someone like that, who has made a lot of money from law enforcement. And well, are they necessarily any better at the physical act of, you know, physical confrontation? No. Then, you know, the system doesn't really logically hold. But in a game, you kind of have to incrementalize and sort of monetize systems. You need measurable.
Typical.
Oh my god, quantifiable. There we go. That's the word I want. You need quantifiable elements in games to mark or simulate progress or growth, give the player some sort of agenda or target to go after. I don't know, just because it's silly and weird. I talk shit and they brought back the Genlock rogues. It's about time. Went through the entirety of the deep roads and not a single Genlock down there knew how to be a rogue, but now we get to the DLC area and suddenly they remember. No emissaries. Okay. I mean, in reality, training takes time, expertise takes time, and experience, yeah, but oftentimes, you know, some people will have an aptitude for something that other people won't. Or some people will have opportunities to excel in something that other people won't. In trying to come up with a role-playing game, or a tabletop role-playing game, or even a simulation that adequately explores and expresses that is very, 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 very difficult, right? And of course, there's the argument that in D&D and tabletop role-playing games generally, and in role-play games even more broadly than
Let's
that,
get started.
more often than not, we are not playing normal, ordinary, everyday, mortal people, right? We're playing extraordinary people. It's a power escapist fantasy, for the most part. It's an escapist fantasy and a power fantasy. So, maybe it's okay in those circumstances to have it tied to really arbitrary and nonsensical things. I'm like, what the fuck is that sound? Because the entire premise is arbitrary and nonsensical. Yep, forgot about the stuns. Love them. Love them. Totally fun. Totally fun time. Yeah, there's certainly something to be said for the line of fantasy and reality, where you suspend disbelief. Where do you draw that line in a game? Because you kind of have to keep... You don't have to. Yes, you do. I'm walking back and forth on this statement a lot. You need a baseline of reality, of context, for anything to make sense, right? The characters we play are exciting and powerful and inspiring because they have a baseline in reality. We have a conceptualization of what, you know, fast is and accurate is, and what can or cannot be accomplished with a bow and arrow. How impressive it is to be doing, like, the incredible gymnastics and sword fighting that a character like Legolas does. We have a basic shared understanding of physical reality, what's reasonable for a human or, you know, human-like body to be able to do, what's unreasonable, what's incredible, what's surprising, what's noteworthy, right? We have these baselines. So a lot of role-playing games try to speak at least to those baselines. Like, oh, you have a carrying capacity, or that you have a range of this, or a damage threshold of this, or this amount of hit points, or whatever. And it takes this much XP or time to be able to do this, or to do it, yada 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 yada. The game's design. And, no, system design. For conceptualizing, God, word hard, me no word good. Conceptualizing the fantastic and the foreign and the exotic within the context of the normal, the mundane, the understood, the typical, the real. It's an interesting...
what I hope to find here.
It's an interesting balance, and I don't know if there's... No, I'm quite confident in the assertion that there's no correct way to do it or incorrect way to do it. There might be better or worse ways to do it based on arbitrary constraints. But, yeah, it's something I spend a lot of time thinking about when it comes to games balance, even playing games like in D&D. Getting locked in the conversations of what's realistic or feasibly, like, the amount of speed that you can potentially get a player character up to in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, using magical effects, using racial bonuses, using items. You can make a person move fast enough that if they hit anything, if they trip and fall, if they do anything that disturbs their horizontal momentum or horizontal motion, it would shatter every bone in their body. It would be an instant fatal crash. But in the rules, there's nothing to accommodate that, right? There's nothing to take that into account. So, so it's totally fine. It's totally okay. And there's a lot of things in Dungeons and Dragons in particular, and D&D is the thing I hit on the most because it's a common touchstone. Man, that was a weird walking animation. Yeah, there's definitely a very delicate balance that games have to do to try to portray the real and the fanciful in the same space and make them both believable to an extent. Believable so long as the participant is willing to suspend disbelief. To whatever capacity is necessary for the medium. Dragon Age, I feel like, does a pretty exceptional job. And a lot of that is grounded in, yes, there's very high fantasy aspects, right? But things like the Fade, things like dreams are tied tightly to how dreams actually work and the psychology of dreaming and a lot of psychology that's real. The rarity of magic and the danger of magic being kind of this unknown element, the xenophobia that so many have towards magic users. That's very real, right? It's kind of arbitrary, and by that I mean completely arbitrary, how much a fireball or a stone fist or whatever costs. But a lot of this feels very visceral and grounded and meaty and believable. But then if you get into settings like Elder Scrolls, honestly, Elder Scrolls magic just does weird bullshit stuff that breaks its own rules all the time. Yeah, things like that. Man, I'd really enjoy doing a long study in a group, particularly. I don't want to monologue about this, but I'd really enjoy getting together a group of like mechanics-minded physics, like reality building game designers to talk about the different approximations of magic or the weird leaps in why their magic system works the way it does, why this does this but not this. And right now with the development of, and this is a monologue I'll cut off soon, with the development of Baldur's Gate 3 with Larian Studios, we can see a really interesting, really fascinating intersection of this conversation happening between the expectations of the established norms within the context of Dungeons & Dragons, particularly Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. For example, Firebolt does not set things that the target is carrying on fire, right? It just doesn't do that. Very basic assumption built into the rules. And why does it not do that? Does it make any sense that a blast of fire wouldn't set something on fire? No, but it's for balance reasons, because otherwise it'd be too powerful. Larian Studios, on the other hand, has this great element system where things like oil are flammable, gunpowder, even liquor, things like that, and they really like showing off the system within their existing engine that they made with Divinity Original Sin 2. And in that system, if you get hit by a firebolt, it does damage because you're being hit by magic. It does damage because you're being set on fire. It sets fire to the ground or what surface underneath you, and then that fire additionally damages you. All of that is reasonable and realistic, right? Yeah, you just got hit by fire. It would set stuff you have on fire. It would hurt a lot more, but it completely destroys the established balance and canon of Dungeons and Dragons and the conceptualization that that audience is approaching the game with for what's normal, what the context for a firebolt is, how powerful a firebolt is, how weak it is, stuff like that. Chill Touch does something similar with its ability to freeze surfaces, and that is so fucking fascinating to me. These two worldviews on game design, game mechanics, balance, and the lore and world building and logical contextual underpinnings of those two models intersecting, and the kind of cognitive dissonance that it's causing in the player base, the frustration and confusion that it's causing. It's just fascinating. I want to get a bunch of fucking game designers together to talk about their different magic systems, to, I don't know, iterate on it and come up with like a unified magic system. I know that's incredibly unrealistic, but it'd be a lot of fun. Anyhow, back to the game.
What is this? This I remember.
Big dwarf.
It has dates and names. This is to honor those who volunteered, those who became golems. And there is my name, Shale of House Cadash. Just as Caradin said. I remember now. I remember, Shale. That was me.
So you remember?
Wonderful to remember being a soft, squishy creature of flesh. Perhaps. I will need to think on these things I have learned. Perhaps I will speak to it of them soon. For now, let us carry on as we have.
Alright, we'll talk later. But hey, we can level you up for now. I think you need dexterity. Constitution, what is it you need for this? You need 18 dexterity for this, which is hilarious. Ba-da-ba-ba. Stone ore is like really good, but it locks Shale in place. The aura paralyzes Shale and imposes a personal penalty to defense as well as draining stamina. It sucks. It sucks. It's so potentially good, but it's just not quite there. This allows you to deactivate, disengage, which I don't really want. Personal striking, or perfect striking, that's not really all that attractive to me right now either. We could give you the 18 dex you need to get that. I mean, I don't have a strong reason to not do that. So I can start walking you in that direction if nothing else. You wouldn't want to talk about it now, would you?
I am listening. It doesn't have better things to do.
No, we can only talk at camp. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Time to leave, back to Orzammar, and then back to the surface. And then, for real, we're done with the deep roads. Except that there's DLC. Set between Origins and Awakening, I think. It's a level 20 DLC that's set in the deep roads. And, to be honest, yawn. I might skip it, because it's... I don't want to say not that good, but it's not that good. Hey, Garen, I got some more shit to sell you. Yeah, I haven't seen your watch. I don't know what happened to it. It's been gone for a while now, buddy. You might want to move on. Have you seen my lunch? No. And no one ever will, Garen. It never existed. Alternately, I ate your lunch. Cadash Thaig Shanker. We'll keep that for Zevran. Divan Maul. Nope. 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 Duster leather gloves. We should probably keep that for Zevran, I say, selling it. Cadash Stompers. Ooh, increase hostility towards the target. That's nice. Can give that to one of my tanky boys. Blood Gorged Amulet is trash and I never want to see it again. Get it out of here. Got a remarkable ruby. That is a gift for Shale, but Shale is maxed out, so get it out of here. Unless it's flawless. I don't want to see it. Thank you for the money. We're not at like 290 yet, we're getting there. In total, I need 235 gold pieces to buy the Magister Lord Staff and Andrew's Blessing from the Circle Shop. Additionally, I'd need about 18 gold on top of that to get the Tome of Arcane Technique, which I like, but I don't need. So we'll probably do some side quests and then loop around to that. Yeah, that's believable.
The Elder Mage watches me. I'm reminded of a certain former master whose head I crushed. Or so I'm told.
Oh, I'm sorry, Shane. I am simply curious about you, that's all.
As my former master would say during his experiments.
Oh, I would do no such thing. I just find the idea of you so fascinating. On the one hand, it seems it would be so sad and so lonely in existence. And on the other, you are so very powerful. No golem I know of has ever had free will as you do. May I ask what you intend to do with it?
Other than exterminating the vermin of the sky?
Yes. Other than that?
I do not know. Crushing heads is fun, for now.
Well, that's something.
It absolutely is. It's good enough. No, is it not? Is it not good enough, Dragon Age? I guess not. Great little moment. And crash. Oh, by the way, 69 hours. Nice. Again, I left this on overnight, so that's not accurate. Well, to say I left it on overnight is misleading.
Let's get started.
I closed the game when I went to bed, but the game never actually closed. It just hung in a half-crash limbo overnight. So I'm not sure if it counted that as me playing the game or not. I hope not, but who's to say? What do I need? I got, yeah, stuff to do in Denerim. We're not going there yet. Places of power we've worked on. That was termination, yeah. Yeah, I can bring back 10 bundles of deep mushrooms to the Mages Collective in, the Circle Tower, and I need to ask at the Circle Tower about that dwarf recruit, and it sounds like there's something else I need to do there as well, so let's go to the Lake Calenhad docks.
Cursing creatures!
Was drinking water and it didn't auto pause like it normally does. Shame on you, game. Shame on you. We have any... Well, we have a Darkspawn leader up there, but no. Nothing I'm actually concerned about. Can I... How's this going? You know, not badly. Still going. Ba-da-ba-ba. Ah, man, talking about that magic system makes me really want to crack open the magic system I was working on earlier this year. It was tied into...
On it.
Magic basically just being a form of energy, like, kind of like... dark matter. That kind of stuff, like, what's the exotic energy or exotic material that we don't really understand, just because that's sci-fi flub, essentially, and it sounds like it's adhering to physics even though it doesn't have to, and it sounds like it's adhering to science even though it's just like meaningless garbage. You know, like Mass Effect did with EZO. Same shit. But I tied the efficacy of different spellcasting medium, whether that be, you know, wands, staves, whatever, to their density, conductivity, and malleability, I think. So the more dense a material, let's see if I remember this correctly, the more dense a material, the more effective it is as an enchanting agent. Enough. Right, you can store more potential in it, more energy potential, whether that be magical potential or just mundane energy. That makes it a good storage medium. That's not really how that works. That's not really how batteries work, but that is a loose approximation, is how I took it. Conductivity allows you to cast a spell with greater efficiency than without it. Something like a copper wand is better at channeling this, again, fake energy than your body is. Although, to be fair, blood is a very good conductor, which ties in the use of blood and other things for spells. Salt, and talking about insulators and things like that. Yeah, I'd like to take another poke at that. Wynne down.
I fell.
You did. You all right?
For a moment there, I thought it was all over.
What was all over?
Everything. I will explain everything when we are back at camp. Now is not the time.
Okay, fair enough. Well, you and Shale both got some splaining to do.
Easy enough.
Yeah, I hadn't really gotten to the point where I think it could be properly called a system, but I was laying out the underlying logical underpinnings.
Isn't that the point? We could all be figments of someone else's imagination. Just players in a play. Exactly. You, I, everything. All a dream. But whose dream? And for whose amusement? Some being of cosmic power. Sublime and enlightened beings. Cosmic power? What, you're serious? They thought of all this grit, all the war. They bloody thought of boils. I got a boil the size of your nose on my big toe, and some beings are enjoying this. Disturbed, sick bastards, if you ask me. Ahem. I still maintain they're more enlightened than that. If I ever come across one of them, I'll give them a what for.
Haha, it's meta.
A little something extra. For friendship.
Oh. I leveled up. I wasn't expecting that. One more in Constitution, one more in Dexterity. Just make me slightly harder to kill. You know what? I'm hard enough to kill. I'm hard enough. Yep, you heard it here first. Expert. Get some master combat training. Earthquake is okay. It knocks people down. Does it even deal damage? It doesn't even deal damage. It just knocks people down. It's just annoying. Wow, okay. That's actually quite strange.
Make her rest the souls of all, Templar and Mage, who gave their lives defending the Circle. May they find peace at last.
Huh. I've never seen that before. I gotta go to Irving's quarters for some reason.
Welcome back, youngster. Looking to go across to the tower?
I mean, I guess. You got your boat back.
Gregor came by, said I could have Lissy back. He seemed sad and tired.
Yeah, I'd like to go.
Off we go then.
God. A few nights ago, I had a dream that somehow I was eating glass. And I woke up to find I had just, like, bitten the hell out of my lip. So I've had 2 cuts on the inside of my mouth. One noticeable cut. It's just been slowly healing over the last few days, and I love it. Irving, I don't want to go all the way up to your room.
You went above and beyond the call of duty for the Circle. You have done us proud.
You need anything else done?
You've already done much for the Circle. Now you must see to your duty as a Grey Warden.
Dagna of Orzammar wishes to study magic.
Orzammar? Indeed. You have piqued my curiosity. It is common knowledge that dwarves lack the aptitude for spellcraft. She will never be able to weave the simplest magic, no matter how hard she tries.
She just wants to study magical theory.
Fascinating. I suppose the Circle should be flattered.
She's willing to give up caste and clan for this.
I see. If she is willing to sacrifice so much for this, then we should feel honored. Tell Dagna of Orzammar that this path will not be easy. But if she chooses it, then she is welcome here at the Circle. She will live and study with the Tranquil, and perhaps the apprentices, when it is appropriate.
Thank you.
If only the Circle was in better shape. I fear she may be disappointed when she arrives.
Or you'll have an extra pair of hands to help rebuild.
This will be interesting. She could tell us much about our dwarven neighbors. Yes, the more I think about it, the more I like the idea. I shall take this as an indication that perhaps things are starting to look up for the Circle. Thank you. I wish you well. Know you will always be welcome here.
I don't know why. His voice, makes me emotional. Makes me sad. Like, happy sad.
I, may have a cause to apologize to the sister.
Apologize? For what?
For suggesting that the sister was gullible for believing in things which were not real.
Oh, that! I'd already forgotten about that. Thank you for reminding me.
Come on, you've rested enough. We need to get these out of the tower before they get fragrant.
Touching those abominations. It's wrong.
Someone has to do it.
Why do we have to take them across the lake to burn? The lake's right there.
Oh, fuck the Templars. Decency, humanity? Not just yeet them into the lake. Okay. Hey, Cullen!
I'm glad I'm still alive, but the Circle's future still remains to be seen.
Yeah, an Inquisition, you're gonna side with them, buddy. Irving's room is on the senior mage floor, right? I don't have to keep going up. Please, God, don't make me keep going up. That's not Irving's room. That's not Irving's room. Is this? No. No, this certainly isn't. And it's not a through room either. God damn it. Do 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 do. This was the old chantry. It's in the south, then. Right, this is the room that Duncan stayed in. Isn't this the... This isn't Irving's room? This looks like Irving's room. Fuck, I already had the small red box. I already had it. There was no reason to come here. Damn it. Well... No, we gotta walk around the tower a little bit. And, you know, the Dagna thing we did have to come here for. Though there was absolutely no need to go onto the second floor. That's quite alright.
I did not realize that you were a woman.
That is because I am not. I am a golem.
But you were once a woman and a dwarf. Doesn't that mean anything to you?
The bard speaks of someone who lived and died 5 centuries ago. What have I in common with her?
You share a soul.
I do not. It talks in riddles. Desist or I shall crush its head.
Man, so when I first played this game, I'm like, oh wow, Shale's a lady. Now I'm like, no, dummy, Shale's non-binary and Shale's fucking awesome. All the people being like, yo, so you're a girl, and Shale's like, I'm a golem. Like, yeah, but you used to be, and golems... Shale's like, I also... yes, used to, am not anymore.
You really killed all those abominations. I'm sure you need supplies after that.
Completely went over my head when I was younger.This is the non-binary representation I'm here for. Give me more characters like this. Okay, so I can either afford this expensive-ass belt, which gives a +2 to all attributes. All told, that is an additional 1 spell power.And 2 of everything else. It gives 20% nature resistance, an additional 0.5 mana, regeneration in combat, stamina regen in combat as well, which is a non-issue for me, and physical resistance. Obviously, it's an upgrade. It's a huge upgrade. Or Staff of the Magister Lord. That is 1 more spell power.Base. I think this actually has less spell power. What I have has a total of 16 spell power. This has a total of 13 spell power, though it also has willpower and an additional 2 mana regen in combat. This combined with the belt gives me 3 mana regen in combat, which is quite significant.An additional 10% fire damage and spirit damage are noteworthy as well, as is that willpower. Though all told, final reason, the staff that I have now is perfectly adequate. Of the 2 upgrades, this is significantly more impactful. And I can almost afford this. I'm certain that we can come back and purchase it later. Oh, I could buy back all those...stupid fucking runes. I'm not going to, I'm just recognizing that I can. Okay, well, I bought Andril's Blessing, which is an incredible thing. I don't see the Tome of Arcane Technique in here. Did I go ahead and buy that? It looks as if I did and did not expunge it from the record. Yeah, okay.Word. No, we don't want to hit the mute key, Alex. We don't want to hit the mute key. Now, Wynne, you can have the Destructionist spell. Gives you more mana regen. It actually would lose you 1 spell power, so no, Destructionist spell is gonna go to, I don't know, Morrigan maybe? Somebody else. Where to after this? Well, we have to go back to Orzammar to tell Dagna she's been accepted, and then convince her father not to disown her. It's just a nice side quest, eh? Okay, I see a witch up there. I don't like that. Kunari mercenary. Sit down. Hate that group stun. Hate that.
Stop. Don't kill him.
Why not?
He is no common bandit. None of them were. Their weapons and armor are of fine make, and they are well trained. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? Who are you?
Someone who regrets taking you on. I was told it would be an easy job. Kill the little red-haired girl. Deal with the others as we pleased.
Kill the... You came to kill me?
Who's trying to kill Liliana?
I don't pay to ask why someone wants someone else dead. I just need to know what to do and where to get my money.
I didn't ask why, I asked who.
Money. I'll be lucky to get away with my life, it seems. Maybe we could work something out. You like the idea?
Speak quickly.
I've no real quarrel with you. Wasn't me that wanted you dead. But I know how you can find the one who does.
Okay, yeah, tell me.
I have some directions written down on how to get to the house. It's in Denerim. Yeah, it's the best I can do.
Thank you. Now leave. I never want to see you again.
Go and be grateful for your life.
Don't worry. I'll not trouble you no more.
It's Marjolaine. It has to be.
Why now?
Maybe someone saw me. Maybe she's finally found me and wants to finish what she started.
What do you want to do?
She needs to answer for what she's done to me. If we are ever in Denerim, I would like to seek her out.
Alright, well, we'll go... I doubt it'll take long.
Perhaps it's time to settle this score for good.
I was gonna say, we'll go as soon as possible. That'd be a fucking lie. We are not going as soon as possible. I'm taking my sweet-ass time with this.
Right. Let's get started. As you wish.
I don't like that the audio cut out there. Ah! Gotcha. Resume. Do 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 do. I'm back, baby. I'd rather not be back, but I am back. Dagna.
Hello, how can I... It's you! And it's been, well, quite a while. Enough time to get to the circle and back, I hope. Oh, please tell me what they said.
He accepted you for study.
Ancestors, bless you. I can't believe it. There hasn't even been a dwarven observer in the circle since your Relden in the 13th century. I I need to pack. No, my parents would get suspicious. I need to go. Is there anything I should bring? Books, tuition?
Mages need every ally that they can get.
Then I should go before my parents come looking for me. If you ever go to the circle again, maybe I'll see you there.
Hey, your kid just left. How you doing, Jannar?
You again. Here to buy something, or were you just thinking of wrecking another part of my shop?
Do you have a daughter named Dagna?
Has she been bothering you? It's a whiff of surface stink, and she's like a cave tick. Won't let go.
You should know she's left for the Circle Tower.
What? Do you even know what you've done? She's castless now. She can never marry, never work, and never be a part of this family again. My daughter is dead to me now. Leave my store. You're not welcome here.
Good talking to you. What? Yep. Maybe you should revise some of your shitty laws. But no, yeah, just get mad at the messenger. That's a reasonable thing to do.
I do not understand why you hate birds so much.
It is because I had to endure their chirping, their perching, and most especially their constant
No, I understand that part, but they were just being what they are.
Exactly. Disgusting vermin with wings. Darkspawn must be exterminated for being what they are as well.
But a bird is a creature of grace and beauty. They open their mouths and they sing.
The bard hears music. I hear a wail of banshees that boils my blood.
But what about a nightingale? Or a swan?
They're not pigeons, it is true. Still, evil beasts of the sky.
I give up.
Bird abominations. Okay, well. Got a few companion quests to do. Got some premium content to do, which I'm not, in love with. Blackstone Irregulars. Yeah. This is DLC. This is DLC. This is main quest. This is main quest. This is just sort of adjacent to the main quest. Oh god, I don't really want to do any of this. If I'm being honest, there's no companions locked behind this. No companions locked behind this. No companions locked behind this. So we have everyone already. Let's go check out Bann Loren's lands. I'm saying I don't want to do them today, because we're an hour in, and any of these are going to take a lot of time. Take a closer look at the unarmed man. Surprised to recognize the uniform of King Kaelin's honor guard. Memory comes to you. Fought alongside this man at Ostagar. The guards wear the uniform of Bann Loren. Minor lord, well known and little loved for his fluidity of his alliances. Just wait for the guards to leave. The guards have murdered the man. Maybe I should have joined the fray. They still would have killed him, but I could have gotten experience and loot for killing them. Hey, Elric. The man's face is unmistakable. You remember him as Elric Maragain, member of Kaelin's honor guard at Ostagar and close confidant of the king.
Thank you. I didn't expect the band's men to notice my escape so quickly. I tried to hide here in the woods, but there wasn't time. And now I'm a dead man.
What do you mean there wasn't time?
You were there in Ostagar. You know how things went. For me, it was either this, or die in some darkspawn's belly, or or be hung as a deserter.
You deserted?
I fled the battlefield when Logain betrayed us. I abandoned my men and they died. And Cailan with them. He was my king, my friend, maker. All that time in Bann Loren's prison. And I couldn't stop thinking about all they suffered that one dark night at Ostagar.
Well, it's not your fault.
I know. Even had Logain's men not turned their backs on us, the Darkspawn were too many. Even Cailan, for all his bravado, knew there would be no victory at Ostagar. The king entrusted me with the key to the royal arms chest. If anything were to happen to him, he said, it was vital I deliver it to the wardens.
You still have the key?
The Maker has a sense of humor, doesn't he? I suppose it's for the best, however. Had I kept it, it would be in Bann Loren's hands by now.
But you said Cailan entrusted it to you.
I was afraid. I thought I would lose it on the battlefield, so I stashed it in the camp. Please, it's probably still there.
Where?
The key's behind a loose stone at the base of a statue. I'll draw a map for you, so you'll know where to search.
The events at Ostagar still haunt my thoughts, Warden, and no doubt Alistair's as well. If that is where we are headed, I think it best that we accompany you.
It is vital that the king's documents do not fall into the wrong hands. As for Marik's sword, it is too powerful to be pawed at by those monsters. Same for the king's other arms and armor. And if you happen to find Cailan's body, see it off. He was our king. He shouldn't be left to rot amidst the Darkspawn's filth.
Got it. Anything on your body, though? Okay, yeah.
On it.
Return to Ostagar credits. Characters. Shale. Yep, we already know this about Shale. Between the Teventer Imperium, Ravain, and the Free March, we know about Antiva. We know about the crows. Zevran was a crow. Yep, okay. The part on the characters, particularly the companions, not particularly, is not spelled P-E-R, is spelled P-A-R, particularly. Particularly, the companions, you get a better understanding of who they are by playing the game and listening to the dialogue than the summations of their character in that log. Okay, so we're going back to Ostagar, but first, party camp.
I think I owe you an explanation for what happened earlier.
You do.
You should know that something happened to me at the tower before you came along. You spoke to Petra, did you not? She told you I saved her from a demon. I did, but I did not survive that encounter.
Time out. Petra? That's Petra. It has a real word with a real pronunciation, and it ain't Petra. If you wanted Petra, P-A-I-T-R-A, P-A-Y-T-R-A, Pietra? P-E-I-T-R-A would even get close, but that's Petra. Sure. Well, you're standing right there.
Let me explain fully.
Why don't you do that?
I engaged a very powerful demon to rescue Petra. It sapped me of all my energy and will and left me drained. It took everything I had to defeat it. And when I was done, I no longer had the strength to keep my heart beating. I remember my life ebbing away. Everything receded from me. Sound, light. I remember being enveloped in complete, impenetrable darkness. And then I sensed a presence enfolding me and cradling me, whispering quietly to me. The sensation is impossible to describe. I was being held back, firmly but gently, as a mother would a child, eager to slip from her grasp. I felt life and warmth flowing through my veins again. I began to be aware of small sounds and the discomfort of my hip pressing into the cold stone of the tower floor.
Okay, you're alive. What's the problem?
The Fade contains spirits both benevolent and malicious. The benevolent spirits seldom make themselves known, because they want nothing from mortals, unlike the demons. It was one of these spirits that saved me. Without it, I would be dead. And it has not left me. It is with me, even now, bonded to me. You see, I am supposed to be dead. It is the spirit that is keeping me in this world. And this is not the way of things. Perhaps the spirit did not expect this, but it is weakening gradually. I am living on borrowed time.
Well, then we can make the best of that time.
Yes, that we will.
Want to have a follow-up? Or
What's on your mind?
why did the spirit choose to help you?
I have always had an affinity for the spirits of the Fade. As a child, I never feared my dreams because I knew they were there.
What about demons?
I could sense the demons, too, and their presence frightened me. It was the kindly spirits of the Fade that took the fear from me. I've always been able to feel the spirits, even if I never saw them. And as I nurtured my talent in the circle, I became more sensitive. I began to notice every time I was in the Fade, whether it was in a dream or in magical practice, that I was being watched.
Do spirits watch people like that?
I suppose they must. It is these benevolent spirits that create our dream worlds in the Fade. Sometimes I would see it, a glowing, nebulous form. Most times I would just feel its presence, gentle and comforting, but somehow alien. I think it is a spirit of faith. They have never been seen before, and perhaps I am wrong. But something tells me I'm not. It always felt like the same entity. This one spirit was curious about me, and was guarding me, for want of a better word.
Now, the cool thing about the Fade is that this spirit may not have actually existed prior to Wynne slowly conceptualizing that it existed. The very idea, the very process of conceptualizing this spirit, coming up with this guardian angel, if you will, bore it into existence in some small part. And that's quite cool, isn't it? Like, unintentionally, unmindfully, subconsciously creating a whole ethos and mythology just based off of... I don't know, it's like painting a landscape in the dark and then turning on the light to see what you've made. You know, the strokes or the motions or the steps, you're kind of aware of what you're doing and the feelings that you have, and maybe you might have the notion that you're creating something. Yeah, painting in the dark isn't even quite right. It's more like being in a dark room and your movements are painting something. But you're not aware of it until the lights come back on. And then you can look at the creation, that the movement of your life and its trajectory, its energy, where it's touched, where it hasn't touched, has created something. It's very neat. It's very cerebral and very neat. Oh, you're very lucky.
There were times when I was in the Fade that it seemed to stretch forth to shield me, keeping me safe. And I think it gave me strength in my most terrible battles, Ostagar being one of them.
Like, demons are demons because we want and expect and maybe even need there to be demons, right? It's a necessary component of our worldview that there are dark, malevolent forces out there hungrily eyeing us. And this desire, this want, this persuasion that this creature or type of creature is a thing, you know, psychologically dates back to us being hunted as prey when we were a more vulnerable species, or even in the modern day when we hunt one another. And even if demons didn't exist, we would create them. Especially in a world like this. Even if God didn't exist, we would create them, especially in a world like this. And that's so fucking cool that it's so intertwined, the creator and the created, creation, the dream and the dreamer, right? Who dreams who? What makes what? Where it's this reciprocal motion of positive and negative feedback loops that are so interwoven and tangled that trying to form some kind of single, clear, coherent narrative of how things began and the various steps along the way of how it reached to where it is now is kind of incongruous and incompatible with the very chaotic, fluidic nature of conceptual reality. That's super neat. It's you know, in the same way that with a single photon of light, we can either know its heading or its location, but not both. You can either tell its speed and direction, or you can tell its location, but you can't tell the same thing at the same time. So the spirit is your personal protector.
I don't know why I was chosen. Perhaps it knew that there was something more that lay in store for me. I like to think that I was given a rare chance, and I'm going to make the best of the time so generously given to me.
Well, I'm glad you think traveling with me is worthy of that time.
I will not lie motionless in a bed with coverlets up to my chin, waiting for death to claim me. That is not the death for me. And so I will fight alongside the Grey Warden, and help prepare her for the task that is yet before her. So you had better listen to me, because I swear, if I should fall before the end and you don't seem to be doing things properly, I'll get up again to give you a good finger wagging.
I'll hold you to that.
You know, I think you'll be all right, even without my help.
Like a prime example of this is Justice, which is a character we'll run into in Awakening, as will Anders will run into Anders in Awakening. When the two join, prior to Dragon Age 2, we get to look at how the spirit of justice becomes embodied in a way that justice is a spirit, is the amalgamation of many people's, a community's attitude towards justice, a vague notion of justice shared amongst dreamers, whether they be mages or otherwise. But once justice becomes housed within a single consciousness, within a single ethos, within a single conceptual framework of the world, then justice slowly begins to transform and adhere to Anders' personal conceptualization of what is just and what is right and what is good and what is wrong, right? And Anders is a very deeply troubled person who is angry and wants to do something truly abhorrent. If justice had maintained that kind of hive mind, or not hive mind, that oh god, what is the, it's not zeitgeist, is it? Is zeitgeist the right word? The kind of conceptual group collective conceptualization of justice, then that never would have happened. But because the spirit became so intertwined into somebody's personalized conceptualizations, it gets twisted. It's such a neat thing to play with. Just narratively, it's such an interesting territory. Let's turn in some gems. There's some amethyst, and some runes. There you go. Leave.
You are good to your troops, Warden.
Thank you.
If there's anything I can do for...
Let me see your wares. Sell all the greenstone and quartz and garnet and fluorspar, and I think I don't need the totem. I'm gonna sell the totem. If I need it, I'll get it back. Hey, Morgan. Would you like the Destructionist belt? Sure. Is it better than what you have? Not necessarily. We're not gonna get another mage, so this Court of Shattered Dreams is for sale, baby! There you go, champ. Can I give you these, Alistair? Armor is higher than what you're wearing, actually, which is weird. Increase hostility. Total armor is 4.6. Fatigue's much lower, higher dexterity. Yep, there you go, bud. Here's the Helm of Hanwaith, man. It's better than what you have, and you don't have the set bonus going for you anymore, so... There we go. Yeah, that can stay. You look very silly, Alistair. You look very silly. There you go, Ogren. Here's some... no, never mind. I was gonna say better boots than what you're wearing. They arguably are, but I'm not gonna subject you to that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna sell these boots. By God, I'm gonna sell these boots. Yep.
Something you need?
See your wares. Longsword out. Elven boots out. Court of Shattered Dreams out. I'm gonna give these two to Zevran. Zevran. I haven't even talked to you.
I shall treasure it. Thank you. I shall treasure it. Thank you.
And already, we are good friends. Just a little bit of bribery goes a long way. Trying to think, is anyone needing a level up right now? 14, 14, 14. Let's just go person by person, because it's very possible I've missed people. Nope, not you. Oh. Ooh, you're a master poison maker. It's quite nice, actually. Liliana's done. Ogren, have I? No, I haven't missed a level for you. I guess we take Alistair, Wynne, and I'm taking Liliana to Ostagar. I don't think that DLC is very long. I don't remember it being very long.
Yes.
Yes.
Watch me be wrong. You won't find out. Off to Ostagar. Ah, shit. Vessel of the Spirit. New ability for Wynne. What does Vessel of the Spirit do? It did not auto-assign. Let's figure out what it do. Vessel of the Spirit is a sustained ability, allowing Wynne to disorient nearby enemies with the release of energy, restoring health and mana, and earning bonuses to spell power and mana regeneration. Once she deactivates the ability, she's stunned and suffers penalty to movement, attack, and defense. I'm gonna go into here, go into Wynne, self, any, activate mode, Vessel of the Spirit. Tell you what, let's move these to the very top. That looks good to me. We can level the other fine folks up. Look at this shit, a Hurlock Omega. This is Alpha, apparently. Not enough. Not enough. And even Alpha tier Alpha. Where to go, where to go, where to go? Son of a bitch. Sorry, Alistair. We don't like mages around these parts who aren't in our party. Alistair, buddy, you need at least 2 more strength. I don't think you need any more dexterity. What secondary class do I want to give you? Reaver would give you physical resistance, quite good. Berserker gives you health, which is fine. Truthfully, Berserker doesn't sound that bad at all. Let's give you an additional Constitution. Could give you Disengage, but I don't think you need it, and I really don't think you'll benefit from it. Let's give you Assault. Right? Yeah, you can't have Holy Smite yet. I'll play with your abilities if you start dying, honestly, but until then, I kind of don't want to play with it at all. 2 more Dex for Liliana. We can pick up Assassin from Zevran. Yeah. That'd be quite nice, but for the time being, can't do it, so let's master stealing. Take all the things. Suppressing fire, sustained scatter shot is neat ability, critical shot. It's okay, arrow of slaying. Yeah, let's go for arrow of slaying. For certain single target enemies, like, oh, I don't know, certain dragons. That sounds quite nice. Hey friends, how you doing up there on that shitty hill? Seems like a bad time. No, Alistair, no. No. Attaboy. Stand down. This just because it's deeply satisfying. Bop. No. Why'd you move? Player character? Why did you move? In a perfect position to cast that, and you ran.
That was interesting. And draining.
Didn't know you could do that.
I didn't know I could either. I called forth the spirit that sustains me, so that it could lend us aid. I did not realize it would take this much out of me. It seemed a good idea at the time, if a little rash. I think it may have weakened the spirit a little.
So you could kill yourself doing that?
Well, that's certainly conceivable. I suppose I shouldn't be using that particular trick to entertain children at parties.
Well, you know yourself best.
I promise I'll be careful. And thank you. Your concern is touching.
I mean, I'm concerned, but I'm not actually concerned. It'd be very cool if that ability did have a very low chance of killing her every time she used it, or if there were some sort of meter to track the, not the health of the spirit, but its tangibility, how much it's wasted away. That'd be insanely cool. Like, give a character some very powerful, high-concept abilities.
Let's get started.
That start wasting away the more you use them. Just a too-good-to-use syndrome incarnate character. Ostagar shouldn't take that long. I think this will be like a 3-hour one. You know, I've been wrong before. I've been wrong before.
Right.
Something about returning here makes me feel old, Wynne.
And what exactly are you implying, Alistair?
What? What? Nothing. No, I just thought...
You just thought I might be an expert at feeling old and could share some sage advice.
I just mean that I was a different person then. I believed him, you know? That it would be a glorious battle, that we'd win.
I did too. We were all a little bit younger the last time we were here.
Well, not you. You've always been old.
With lips like that, son, you'll be lucky if you live to be half my age.
Is it just out of spite at this point, Dragon Age? Because it feels a little personal. It's fine. I can't quit you. Well, I could quit you very easily, but I ain't gonna quit. We're in this deep. In for a penny, in for a pound. Yeah, that expression doesn't really make a lot of sense to Americans, given that pennies are a form of currency, whereas pounds are most definitely not a form of currency here. Okay, let's see. Let's orient myself. So, fire down there. Lots of stuff over there. Do I want to go north first? Yeah, I suppose so, because this should dead end sooner than... I love the ravens. They just are these happy little birds. I know they aren't meant to be just, like, adorably derpy, but they are. They're so derpy. Hello, fellow teens. Oh, that's a spellcaster you have in the back. We don't like those around here. See how you like it, dick.
Less fighting, more dying.
Wow, use insect swarm. That's a rare spell, stinging swarm. It's pretty good. I don't use it. I'm not a huge fan, but it's weird to see. It's really weird to see a darkspawn using it. Kaelin's Greaves.
What's the matter, Alistair?
I don't know, it just feels wrong to find us here. Poured over by dark spawn and thick with their rot. It was his.
I know, I feel it too. But he is not the first king to ever fall in battle.
What shall I do?
Or even the first to fall to the Darkspawn.
Yes, but this wound cuts deeper.
And it will bleed longer. But we must keep moving. The Darkspawn are eager to give us more reasons to mourn.
Oh hey, a joining chalice. Would you like the joining chalice, Alistair?
Is that for me?
Your command?
Sure is, buddy.
Let's get started.
Hey, remember that time you watched Duncan kill a guy because he was too chicken shit to go through with it? Wasn't that a fun time? Fond memories. Good times back when we used to terrorize normies for not assimilating into the Grey Wardens immediately.
Right.
Get back up. Where am I going? I was not doing that. I hit a cast ability and then the game decided, oh, you need to walk in a semicircle to slowly close in on this thing. Hey, please.
On it. Let's get started.
There's Elric's buried key, so we can open up Kaylin's chest, which will not have much of anything in it. Ah, hey! Here's the mage's chest that we opened a long time ago. But if you forgot to open it, and you still had the key, it would have a corrupted magister staff in it, which is pretty good.
Allow me. I could do that for you.
I saw the eyeball, damn it, don't. Darkspawn have fastened crude spikes and a corrupted Hala skull to the simple blacksmith's forge, as if turning it into an altar of worship.
As you wish.
Hala are deer. Hala. Other elven deer, specifically elven deer, that are used like combat mounts, if I'm recalling correctly, and also they're very intelligent and sort of pseudo-spiritual, if not outright spiritual. This is where I got Doggo. Nope, there we go. Look, I hear them. Maybe I overreacted. Heavy chainmail. Yeah, you're not gonna get anything too amazing from the random loot here, but the
Watch for the deep.
Kaelin stuff is quite good, if I recall correctly. Blight Wolves!
Right.
Maybe I should have brought Doggo, given that Doggo was here too. Just a big old nope. Yeah, you can do this immediately. After leaving Lothering, you can double back and come here. It's hard if you do it early on. Hey, yo, got Kaelin's shield. Alright, Wynne leveled up and I just completely ignored that. Kaelin's shield. More fatigue, same defense, better missile reflection, same strength modifier, 1 armor, and a chance to avoid missile attacks. All told, it's not better. It's actually not better. When equipped in a set with Merrick's Blade, the character gains bonuses to damage and stamina regeneration in combat. So maybe when we have the sword, it'll be worthwhile, but for the time being, maybe it's just not there yet, huh? We already have a master herbalist? No, we have a master poison maker. You are my herbalist. Yes. None of these really stick out. Give me a winter's grasp. Let me go on. Like a stone. Do 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 do. Duncan's fire. Darkspawn have done their best to defile the bonfire where Duncan kept his nightly watch. Perhaps they still sense something of the man's power. Got Merrick's Blade and a secret correspondence.
So it's true. He had convinced the forces of Orlais to ally against the Darkspawn.
Empress Celine was...
To Its Majesty, King Kaelin of Ferelden. My warden commander assures me that we face a blight. This thing threatens us both, and we must work together to fight it, lest it devour us all. Our two nations have not had a happy history, but that is all it is now. History. It's the future that's at stake. Let us put aside our father's disagreement so that we may secure the future for both of our countries. My chevaliers stand ready and will accompany the Grey Wardens of Orlais to Ferelden. Your word, the might of Orlais will march to reinforce the Ferelden forces. Sincerely, Empress Celine I. An official letter from Empress Celine I of Orlais to King Kaelin of Ferelden. Your Majesty, my men will arrive as soon as possible to bolster your forces. Make her willing, the blight will have ended before it has begun. Kaelin, I beseech you, as your uncle, not to join the Grey Wardens on the field. You cannot afford to take this risk. Ferelden cannot afford it. Let me remind you again that you do not have an heir. Your death, and it pains me to even think of it, would plunge Ferelden into chaos. And yes, perhaps when this is over, you will allow me to bring up the subject of your heir. While a son from both Tharian and Mactir lines would unite Ferelden like no other, we must accept that perhaps this can never be. The Queen approaches her 30th year, and her ability to give you a child lessens with each passing month. I submit to you again, that it might be time to put Honora aside. We parted harshly the last time I spoke of this, but it's been a full year since then, and nothing has changed. Please, nephew, consider my words, and Andraste's grace be with you. Letter from Arl Eamon to King Kaelin. This letter appears to have been crumpled, then carefully smoothed out and folded again. Kaelin, the visit to Ferelden will be postponed indefinitely due to the Darkspawn problem. You understand, of course. Darkspawn have odd timing, don't they? Let us deal with them first. Once that is done, we can discuss a permanent alliance between Orlais and Ferelden. A note, written in an uncharacteristically familiar tone, from Empress Selene I to King Kaelin.
Merely awaiting his response.
A response that never came, and now never will, thanks to Loghain's treachery.
Never is a long time, Alistair. Give it time, and let cooler heads prevail. There will be peace between us yet.
Well, I hope you live to see it, Wynne.
And I hope the Darkspawn don't.
Alistair, what the hell, man? Very unnecessary to bring her age into this. Hey, Wynne, did you remember that you're old? You're old! Yeah, we get it. She's old. She has other characteristics as a human being. Now we're just gonna keep hitting on that old note over and over again.
Let's get started.
Oh. Alright, can I... Nope. Just nothing over there but a bunch of fire arrows. I'll take it. I can turn it into money. That's the dream, baby. That's the dream. Hello? Seeing a bunch of red dots up here. I don't really want anything to do with any of all that. Just to pop me one of these bad boys right here. Excellent. Just drop another one of these right on top of that. Goodbye, Alistair. Very unnecessary for you to charge in like that, buddy. I know, I'm the one that set him on aggressive, but it's still funny when the AI run into the middle of an obviously damaging storm to sate their bloodlust. Good work, everybody. By everybody, I mostly mean me. Good work, self.
Right.
Repeater gloves. Rapid aim, armor penetration. You don't. You already have gloves that... Holy shit, no, you have rapid aim on something else. Yeah, this gives rapid aim. Does rapid aim stack? I gotta look this up. Rapid aim Dragon Age Origins. Okay, so rapid aim property on repeater gloves is bugged and reduces aim by -3 seconds instead of regular 0.3 seconds. I think I already have the unofficial fix. Yeah, I'm assuming this is rolled into the unofficial fix. Okay, and then... So I'm assuming these effects stack. I'm gonna go out on a limb and assume they stack, because it's just cool if they do. What's the other one called? Spear Thrower. Spear... Thrower? The longbow, there we go. Rapid aim property on Spear Thrower reduces aim animation by 0.3 seconds. So I hope these stack. It's hard to tell. Sometimes, if you get an enchantment, it doesn't stack. You just get the enchantment once, and you just happen to have 2 instances of having it once. If that makes sense, one's redundant, basically. Sometimes they stack. And if they do stack, that'd be amazing, because Liliana could just shoot forever. was about to say something about the ballista.
Trap right ahead.
It got Alistair. Dude, so fuck this trap. I can't. I can't disarm it? Okay, yep. God, the NPC pathfinding's just... Oh, it's artwork. It's truly artwork. Run into trap, don't mind if I do. She is shooting really quickly. Makes me kind of wish I was playing a ranged rogue.
Allow me. I could do that for you.
Thank you. I really like Liliana as a character, so I don't mind having her around. And Zevran I like well enough. I just like Liliana more, so I don't really take the opportunity to keep him around very often. Unfortunately. Well, unfortunately for him. Well, maybe for me. Because he does seem like an interesting fellow. Were I to play as a rogue, and I have played as a rogue a few times, it does allow you to basically take whatever the fuck you want with you in your party comp, insofar as you don't need a rogue. By that I mean, if you're a rogue, you don't need a second rogue in your party, which is got an obvious statement, but it opens up a lot of team comps that you don't get to enjoy so often as a mage. As a mage, you can be the main damage dealer, but it also kind of obligates you to heal. So having Wynne along is, I don't know. 2 mages, a rogue, and a warrior is close enough to traditional, but does feel a bit off.
Creatures.
I'm getting some real deja vu. This shit happened in the Deep Roads, didn't it? Skeleton Mage. Yeah, that's gonna die first. You know, fair enough. I should have done you dirty like that first. I'd be mad, but you knocked me down. That's perfectly fair. Jesus Christ. Can you please? Thank you. Am I about to die? There we go. Okay.
On it.
Alistair's been doing a shit job at tanking. Because they're just attacking me, the rest of the party isn't recognizing, oh, there's something to care about over here. Dicks. The AI gets better. The AI gets better. Combat gets better.
Forgive us, my king. Once we flushed the darkspawn from their holes and bought ourselves some time, we'll be back to see you to the Maker.
Oh shit, I completely forgot about this. Did I want to give you Merrick's blade and his sword? So Merrick's blade is only tier 5. Worse damage, worse crit chance, worse armor penetration. But it does give health regen when you're in combat, weakens nearby darkspawn, and does additional damage to darkspawn. So in the long run, I think Merrick's blade is probably the way to go here. For better or for worse, it probably is. And keep in mind, when equipped with the shield, equipped with the shield, it gains a bonus to damage and stamina regeneration. So we can take a look at what exactly that looks like here. It just provides a bonus. Not specifically what the bonus is, and it makes sense for you to use Kaylin's stuff, even if it's not objectively better than what you're wearing. Once we get Kaylin's full suit, I'm sure you can use that. I just want... All I want is Arcane Warrior. I want Arcane Warrior so bad. I don't remember where you get it. I think Arcane Warrior... You don't pick it up in Denerim. You sure as fuck don't pick it up in Redcliffe. So that really just leaves... yeah, the elves. Yeah, that really just leaves the elves for where you pick it up. I'll look up where to get it next, because that's what I want. Arcane Warrior is a lot of fun. That way I can steal all the best equipment from everyone. Not just the mages. Got any of the mages to worry about here? No.
Right. Time for some fun. A little practice. I can see why.
Cool ballista, bruh. I don't want any part of that. They're shooting their own people here. Amazing work, AI. Amazing work. Really putting the A in the I. Okay. We gotta dissuade you from continuing this. Stop. There we go. Strategist. Ah, it's a mage, kill it. No, Liliana, do me a favor, focus on that. Wynne, you need magic. You got it. You know what? You want a healing poultice? Get a hole here and keep... Healing poultice. You two want to just fuck off for a second? Or get shattered. Works for me.
Show me what you got.
There.
Tower of Ishal. Let's do this.
This should be easy enough.
Oh, watch out, I've detected a trap.
Right.
Oh no, not a trap. Yeah, we'll double back to the tower, but I want to
On it.
loot, search the bodies, i.e. more looting, and a lot of flawed crystals. Come on, game, Shale deserves better than flawed crystal. Just give me one large, flawless spirit crystal, and I think we're done with Shale for equipment forever. That's not too much to ask for. Already have a small flawless. Just give me bigger flawless. Large flawless.
This should be easy enough.
Trap right ahead.
Yeah, you want to get on that?
Right ahead.
Ooh, trap right ahead, trap right ahead. Trap right ahead. Trap right ahead. Trap right for ahead.
All
Beautiful. More K1 gear. But we just have the helm and the chest piece left to go, I think. We got the boots, we got the gloves. Yeah, so we
This
just,
should be easy enough.
you know, I say just. We are only 50% complete. But hey, we're 50% done. Ain't that a trip? The passage of time in Dragon Age Origins is a wonky thing. Because it's snowy here now. Wynne has previously said it's been almost a year since yada yada yada. Which is, was news to me, because had not felt like a year. Where the shit does this go? World map? Oh, I guess this is where we entered with Duncan initially. Many moons ago. I find the idea that the Darkspawn would care enough about a fucking fireplace to defile it pretty hilarious.
Here's...
Okay, that's a Genlock emissary and a Herlock emissary. It's just a shitty fucking combination. Alistair, do you want to do your job and get these off of my ass? Pretty please? Why am I not casting? Thank you. That was annoying. Man, Wynne burned through her magic fast. What is happening to you? That was some bullshit. I'm not that much faster. In fact, I am not faster than my party. You all should be able to keep up, though it's on me for... Obviously, it's on me for not taking that into account.
Let's get started.
And my, like, ceaseless bloodlust for wanting to snipe every mage I ever come across. Because they can kill me about as quickly. And the fact that I have gone down here...
On it.
Now, I've gone down a few times. Does suggest to me that perhaps might be worth it to put a couple more points into dexterity and constitution. Perhaps. Her luck, General. Emissaries nowhere to be seen. Okay. What is the pathfinding trying to do here? It keeps running me off to the left. I do not want to go left. Thank you. Okie dokie.
Let's get started.
Allow me. I could do that for you.
Thank you. Man, we still haven't gotten Sten his sword back. Gone to the deep roads a couple of times. Going back to Ostagar to, you know, lay people to rest. And still poor Sten is like, I just wanted my sword. Please, my sword. I'm like, yeah, buddy, we'll get to it. Yeah, I should probably do that before too long. It's an important item for him, and I recall it being fairly good.
Let's get started.
Because Caitlin's breastplate. How did I not loot this?
As you wish.
Maybe I hit close on accident. I am realizing the value of auto loot mods and what they would add to this experience quite a bit. Just to reduce the tedium or the fear that I accidentally pass something and didn't loot it. I am paranoid as all hell. That's why I run around holding down tab all the time. Like, did I loot that? Was I sure to loot that? Because backtracking is pretty... As we saw on the deep roads, it's pretty time consuming in this game. I like that it's just a shitty little genlock. That genlock emissary that's our nemesis here. That's very true to my experience in Dragon Age. It's normally just one shitty little spellcaster that is out to ruin you.
It's either you or me. It isn't gonna be me.
No. Stop. You resisted that? You... Absolute unit. I'm genuinely impressed. You've done what few ogres before you have managed to do. Not get frozen by me.
Right.
Kudos.
Let's get started.
Bad man. Bad man. Well, bad former man. God, I want to see the Kunari homeland so badly. I'm so fascinated by the Kunari. What got me thinking about the Kunari were the ogres. Because the existence of ogres in the Blights before the arrival of the Kunari suggests that they had some kind of prior involvement or interaction with Darkspawn, which is just fucking very interesting. Very fascinating. The lore implications, alright? Well, I see no reason to open this door. I see there's a bear scarn over there. Guess we'll go visit them once this whole, fuck off storm is done. Now, all the humanoid darkspawn were running to the door because they can open it. I don't think the bear scarn is capable of opening the door. Hey, dummy. Nope, it can open the door. Okay, yep, I had to put that to the test. I'm like, there's no way they made it to need hands to open the door, but I had to test it.
Less fighting, more dying, blast you! Down with you!
I guess that makes it all the more strange that the bear scarn wasn't going for the door while everybody else did, but maybe it had just the tiniest bit of sense.
Right.
Hearing more growling. Those invisible boys, or is that dying sounds? Dog Crusher. Great name.
As you wished.
Though, don't think many would be.
Down the hole and into the deep. I don't even want to imagine where that leads.
Doors barricaded from the other side, and you see no other way through. Gotta go down and out.
Destroy the
Deep roads, deep roads, deep roads. By deep roads, I mean elven-looking construction. No, maybe that's kind of Tevinter-y. I think these are the Elven Ruins tile set that they use here. Yeah, I think so. It's corrupted spider time. Everybody's favorite.
only one shall
That skull looks quite silly. Looks like it has upside down goggles on. Look at that. Yes, this is where the eye bones are. That must be nice. The 3D modeler did a much better job than I could ever do. To be fair, but still. It do look a mite bit silly. Yes, I'm certain no spiders are going to jump out and oh god! Continuing the age-old tradition of spiders somehow having potions on them. Tradition that, as a mage, I gotta say, I've benefited from quite substantially. You know what? Come at me, bro. Wait a minute, you mean to tell me there's an emissary back there I couldn't see? No, 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 no. Alright, good freezes, good knockdown. Stay chilly. you'll love to have a Templar to run in and just occupy a mage for you while you snipe the mage with another mage. I can definitely see the appeal of Templars. But not for me. Not for me. It's like, who wants to play an anti-mage? Not even like an anti-mage, just like a duffed up sort of enchanted crusader when you can play a mage. Magic
Allow me.
is so cool and fun and interesting and has so many possibilities. If this were, you know, a real living world, oh, absolutely, I can understand why people would be called the Templars, because, you know, segments of the population can just turn into horrific monsters, but... well, as a player, I'd rather be the horrific monster. And maybe in life, who knows. Depends on if the horrific monster is a metaphor for something, and it's almost always a metaphor for organized labor or communism or whatever else. So, yeah, typically I'm a big fan of the monster. Nothing else in here, huh? Alright, fair enough. Plop down a quick save and wait for Wynne to get her magic. Wow, really, Wynne, that's what you got? Okay, I was gonna say, you shouldn't be using abilities that cost that much. Oh, cleansing aura is a constant, right? So this is sustained. There's a cooldown of 30 seconds, but it doesn't have a duration. Oh, I don't fucking know. Yeah, that's probably the most apt thing to say here. I don't know. I do not know. Let's move this below group heals, because I prefer that. Enemy nearest visible. Usability. Winter's Grasp. There we go. Can you waste even more of Wynne's magical abilities? Looks good to me. Let's go get that hat. I think the hat's the last thing we need. Oh, and Duncan's equipment is down here as well, I believe. The Hoppy Raven is bringing me life. The thing that killed Duncan is back, baby.
Right.
Prison ogre. Stab it.
I tried to be less.
Alright, you're dead. Don't look at me.
Let's get started.
Don't you fucking look at me. Hey, Genlock Necromancer, could you stop? Stop it. Got him. Kaylin's Helm.
There it is. The last of them.
It has been a long day. By the lines around your eyes, I dare say you look as old as I.
And if I may say so, milady, you appear to be getting younger by the day.
Be careful who you flirt with, young man. When you wake up beside me tomorrow morning, I'll be back to reminding you of your grandmother.
Beside you?
You heard what I said. It would not be the first time I woke to a younger man in my bed.
Are all women this evil and conniving when they grow old?
Just me, my dear. Just me.
A strange interaction, yes. But an enjoyable one. Where the fuck... Is the exit back over here? Yeah, it would make sense to be behind this. Yeah? Yeah, sure? Am I wrong about that? Is there nothing over here? There's no way to quick travel back up? What? No, just have to go back up through the Darkspawn tunnel. That's... Okay, it's not great, but hey, in the meantime, Alistair, let's get you all kingly. You've been missing on the Helm of Hanweith, which is just so good. And again, look at these stompers and their great bonuses and just, nope, eat. Caitlin's breastplate. I don't, yeah, I really don't think you benefit that much here, buddy. Like, these provide a bonus to, oh, fatigue is reduced quite substantially, now that I'm looking at it. Bonus to health regen while in combat. Let's take off the helmet. Yeah, that's reduction of over 20. Fatigue, that's huge, actually. That is massive. Duncan's dagger and sword. Duncan's sword is quite good. Yeah, quite good. Oh, okay. Proper royal, Alistair. As if you came from some sort of royal stock. Haven't talked a lot about your parentage. Hey, birds. Good birds. Ah, good. It quick travels you back up there. I forgot. I absolutely forgot.
Alistair, are you all right?
Oh, they left him here to rot. We need to do something.
Oh, let's give him a pyre.
He was a good man, who hoped too much, and died too young. He deserves what little honor we can afford to grant him.
Pop all the knuckles. And we're done. Quest completed. We have returned to Ostagar. Yeah, that was really only like 40, 50 minutes, 45 minutes. It's a short one. Just a combat romp with some loot and a little bit of closure. And honestly, it doesn't need to be anything more than that. The intro to the quest is kind of weird, where you go meet with random guy out in the field who's like, go back to Ostagar, but and besides that, it's good. Party camp. We're gonna juggle.
The Blight. How will you end it?
Oh, hey, Sten. How am I going to end the Blight? Have to fight the Archdemon.
Is that all? It is surrounded by an ocean of darkspawn. How will you reach it? If you reach it, how will you slay it? You say you are a Grey Warden. I have heard stories of this order.
What have you heard?
Great strategists and peerless warriors. That is what we hear of the Wardens. So far, I am not impressed.
Well, I'm new to the Wardens.
Will you make that excuse to the Archdemon, or the victims it claims in the meantime?
You got me there, Sten. Can always count on you to just be a real fucking downer. Thanks, buddy. Just feeling good about myself. Don't know what I would have done if you hadn't been around. Let's give you the Legion gear. Boots of the Legion, armor of the Legion, gloves of the Legion, helm of the Legion. The Legion gear does not provide a set bonus, unfortunately. Looks pretty nice, but no set bonus. Ogren. You're gonna want this helm. Yup, helm upon with. Efforts, gloves you can't even wear. I think I'm gonna sell a bunch of this stuff, honestly. God, he can't wear anything. Ogren, how are you this bad? I don't mean to be rude. He's just not a lot of strength. He's got a lot of willpower, strangely enough.
You and your friends are formidable folk, indeed.
I'm
sure
wares.
you'll be pleased.
Yeah. I want to take a look at some stuff that he has, actually. The Blood Dragon set in particular. It's only quality 6. You do have Bergen's Honor, which is tier 7. Yeah. Can I afford the entire... I absolutely can afford the entire Blood Dragon set right now. It may behoove me to get it. Does it provide a bonus, or is it just, like, decent armor? When all 4 pieces are equipped, you gain a bonus to defense and armor. Well, it's quite solid in that respect. It's nothing I would enthusiastically write home about, but it's good. It's perfectly fine. Effort, on the other hand, I think I'll sell. Cadash Stompers are... God, they're good. they're very good. Tell you what, sell the Blood Dragon plate for the time being. If the time comes that I really want it, I can always buy it back. Bulwark of the True King is way too valuable to sell, though. If I sell that, it's going to be very difficult to get it back. Cadash Stompers, I'm sure I can equip that on somebody, so let's hold off on that. Helm of the Deep, you are a heavy helmet. Zev, you got a hat? No, you most certainly do not. You don't have gloves. Well, you do have gloves, but these are better. Ogren, you want these boots? You're goddamn right you want these boots.
Something you need? I'm sure.
Show me your wares. Sell this, keep this. Cold and attack and dexterity and damage. Doggo. How do you feel about that? Currently, you have armor. Yep, that's better. And physical resistance. I think the physical resistance is probably better than additional dexterity and damage.
If there's anything I can do...
Yep, that's fine. Show me your wares. Sell this, sell that. Sell. Now, I get... Put a bit of anticipation here. I'm not quite sure what I want to do. Sure shot bolts, gone. Fire arrows, a lot of them gone. Ice arrow, a lot of them gone. Okay. Topsider's Honor is... it's a lot of damage, and it's a tier 7, so you'd really think I'd hold on to it. Well, Zev can hold on to one of them. Wow, no he can't. He's not strong enough. Well, never mind. He can hold on to Duncan's dagger, I suppose. Yep. And... yep. Well, you know, at least someone's using part of it. Duncan's sword... so willpower and cunning, stam, regen, and combat, which are pretty good. Damage versus Darkspawn, it's pretty good, but it's only tier 5. As is Merrick's, but Merrick's set, or the sword shield set, provides a bonus, which makes me consider using it over Topsider's Honor, which truthfully just seems better. Like, a lot better, but I'll hold off on that for the time being. Ogren. You want this shit? It's a lower tier, less damage. No, the answer is you absolutely don't want that, which means Sten isn't going to want it. Yep, okay, sell Nug Crusher, and I guess...
if there's anything I can do...
I don't want to sell Topsider's Honor. It's cheaper than Duncan's sword? What? Fine, sell them both. Sell them both, sell them all. Bulwark of the True King, I'm still... no, I'm buying that back. Fuck you, I'm keeping these on hold. I'm holding on to those. I'm absolutely not just throwing those away. I feel obligated to, but I don't want to. Feel obligated to because inventory management is pretty important. Pretty fucking important, as we've seen demonstrated time and time again, but I don't wanna.
Everything brings us closer to victory.
Yep. Yep. Let's finish selling out what I have in my inventory.
If there's anything I can do for...
Garnet, quartz, and that's it. And now I suppose we can talk to Zevran and end for the day? Well, I want to talk to Zevran regardless of what we do, but I'm not really sure what all's left to do. Neither Ogren nor Zevran have interacted with Dog. Sad. Hey, you want to talk about dead Kaelin?
Something on your mind? Of course. Such as they are. About the great... something on your mind?
Never mind. Want to talk about your spooky ghost friend? Yeah?
What's on your mind?
Can we cure you?
Cure me? What, am I sick now?
You're a little dead.
Even you know that you cannot cure the dead. And I'm not the only one dying. You are too. I'm just more efficient about it.
That's fair.
Ah, child. Your concern is heartwarming. But death comes to everyone, and it is not something to fear.
I'd rather be alive, really.
People fear not death, but having life taken from them. Many waste the life given to them, occupying themselves with things that do not matter. When
True.
the end comes, they say they did not have time enough to spend with loved ones, to fulfill dreams, to go on adventures they only talked about. But why should you fear death if you are happy with the life you have led? If you can look back on everything and say, yes, I am content, it is enough.
I think it depends on the person that you are.
Ah, human nature. You are right. Some people will never be content and will always want more. I think I've led a good life, a full life, and I, for one, am not afraid of death, whatever it may bring. They say that when you die, your spirit travels through the Fade and returns to the Maker. And after that, we'll see, won't we?
Okay. Hey, Zevran.
I've a question, if I may.
Go right ahead.
Well, here's the thing. I swore an oath to serve you, yes? And I understand the quest you're on, and this is all very fine and well. My question pertains to what you intend to do with me once this business is over with, as a point of curiosity.
Oh, you could go if you wanted.
Could I? And what if I didn't wish to leave?
I could always use a friend.
Indeed. I might even be glad to call myself such, come to think of it. It is good to know what my options might be, but that is for another time. For now, we have much to do, yes? What say you?
You stare at everyone like that?
Not everyone, but a beautiful woman like yourself. Why not? I'm sure you draw many stares from men and even other women. Does this bother you?
Not really, no.
But you would prefer I desisted, perhaps. It would be difficult traveling as we do in close proximity, but I am nothing if not a gentleman.
Gentleman, that's too bad.
Oh, now this is intriguing. I shall have to redouble my efforts immediately. There was a young elven dancer in Antiva City once, and I believe I actually managed to stare off all 7 of her skirts. It's a trick worth retrying. Now that that is out of the way, perhaps we should move on. With you in front, of course.
Uh-huh.
You look so tired, my dear. It is all this constant walking and fighting. I think I know what you need.
No? What's that?
My thought is this. We retire to your tent, and I show you the sort of massage skills that one only learns growing up in an Antivan whorehouse.
Are you suggesting what I think you are?
If you mean to ask whether or not there might be more than a massage involved, allow me simply to say that you won't be disappointed with any of the techniques I've picked up over the years.
See, I want to say yes, but we haven't really been given the capacity to talk to Liliana about the expectations of our relationship, the boundaries of that relationship, whether other people might be involved there. So, I'm not sure. I'm lacking context here. I'm lacking the social context here of would this be... Are you sure about this?
What is there to fear, my Grey Warden? You deserve a little fun, do you not? If you're not of a mind, however, it is no tragedy.
Well, there's somebody else.
Ah, my mistake. Say no more then. I take it all back.
Zevran disapproves -20. You said you understood, Zevran. Instead, you're just being a dick about it. I don't think that's a fair way to represent Zevran. He grew up in a whorehouse. He's not going to be the selfish type. He's the one to respect boundaries, I would hope.
By all means.
What does it take to become an assassin?
Well, the Crows would have you believe that it is an involved process that takes years of training. The sort that tests both your resolve and your endurance. Survive that process and maybe, just maybe, you're good enough to start being considered one of them. But quite frankly, the truth is that all it requires is a desire to kill people for a living. It's surprising how well one can do in such a field.
You did quite well, no doubt.
Within the Crows, I did. But it has been something the Crows have devoted a great deal of time to perfecting. An assassin simply specializes in striking from stealth, and in maximizing that first attack to be as lethal as possible. Debilitate your foe, either by poison or by crippling their limbs, makes any follow-up combat you need to engage in that much simpler.
That could be useful.
See? Getting paid for the act is beside the point. An assassin is more a tactical choice than a lifestyle. Of course, the Crows like to pretend that their abilities are trade secrets, shrouded in shadows and wrapped in a blanket of mystery. So let's just keep this between you and me, shall we? Hmm? What say you?
Could you teach others to become an assassin?
I could teach others, but not yourself. First, I would need someone who has training as a rogue. That is, unless you would care to spend the years it takes to gain the fundamentals. But if there should be such a person who desires this training, yes, by all means, send them to me. The crows are already furious, no? I shall enjoy tweaking their nose further.
Which means... nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Not what I wanted to do. Wanted to go into this. Go over to Liliana. Level you up. Now, Duelist we haven't picked up yet. I forget where we get Duelist. Duelist would give you 2 dexterity and 1 damage per hit. It's quite nice. Assassin gives you 2 dexterity and a higher crit chance. Now, given we have an ability with her which negates crits altogether, that dex is quite nice. But this Duelist would be what I'd prefer to spec her into, so never mind.
What say you?
Care to answer some questions?
By all means.
Why'd you want to leave the crows?
Well now, I imagine that's a very fair question. Being an assassin, after all, is a living, at least as far as such things go. I was simply never given the opportunity to choose another way. So, if that choice presents itself, why should I not seize upon it?
What would you rather do?
Now that you mention it, I am not entirely certain. I was but a boy of 7 when I was purchased. For 3 sovereigns, I'm told. Which is a good price, considering I was all ribs and bone and didn't know the pommel of a dagger from the pointy end. The crows buy all their assassins that way. Buy them young, raise them to know nothing else but murder. And if you do poorly in your training, you die.
That sounds awful.
Oh, I don't know about that. The crows who are actually good enough to survive come to enjoy some of the benefits. In Antiva, being a crow gets you respect. It gets you wealth. Gets you women. And men. Or whatever it is you might fancy. But that does not mean doing what is expected of you always. And it means being expendable. It's a cage, if a gilded cage. Pretty, but confining.
Think I understand.
As for what I'll do in the future, presuming that there is one, I truly can't imagine. It might be interesting to go into business for myself, for a change. Far away from Antiva, of course. For now, naturally, I go where you go.
You think that'll change?
Everything changes, my friend. Come now, enough chit-chat. Talking about the crows summons them, you know. Any Antivan fishwife could tell you so. What say you? By all means.
You actually enjoy being an assassin?
And why not? There are many things to enjoy about being a crow in Antiva. You are respected, you are feared. The authorities go out of their way to overlook your trespasses. Even the rewards are nothing to turn your nose up at. As for the killing part, well, some people simply need assassinating. Or do you disagree?
No, you're probably right.
I often find myself the instrument of fate, ending these lives for one necessity or another. I console myself with the notion that most of them had it coming. As far as enjoying the act of killing itself, why not? There is a certain artistry to the deed, the pleasure of sinking your blade into their flesh and knowing that their life is in your hands.
I suppose I know what you mean.
There are many things I did not enjoy about being a crow, of course. Having no choice, being treated as an expendable commodity, the rules, oh, so many rules. But simply being an assassin, I like it just fine. I will continue to do it if I can, even if I am not a crow. Honestly, could you picture me doing something else?
Well, why not?
Whereas I am content merely doing what I happen to be good at. It's a talent that not many come by honestly. I don't see why I need not pursue it. Of course, all these thoughts are moot. Chances are still good that you and I will perish, eaten by darkspawn or slain by the crows at some point. Very gruesomely, I imagine. But it is pleasant enough to chat about. Come, let's move on while our boots still have some wear in them.
We're clawing our way back up to Zevran liking us.
By all means.
Tell me about your adventures.
My adventures? I'm hardly an old man just returned from across the ocean, am I? Should I shake my fist at nearby children while I talk about the good old days?
Oh, you certainly talk like you've had adventures.
Falling down a flight of stairs is an adventure. Falling into someone's bed, also an adventure. I am assuming what you're looking for are professional anecdotes. Let's see, my second mission ever for the Crows was a bit intriguing.
I mean,
I was sent to kill a mage who had
fine.
been meddling in politics.
Meddling how?
How should I know? I got the impression it involved sex, but then I get that impression about most everything. Odd, really. As it turned out, the mage in question was quite a delightful young woman. Long, divine legs, as I recall. I caught her in a carriage on her way to escape to the provinces. After I killed her guard, she got down on her hands and knees and begged for her life. Rather aptly, I might add. So I joined her in the carriage for the night and left the next morning.
And she didn't try to kill you?
Well, yes, twice, actually. Then she decided to try and use me instead. The woman had actually convinced me to speak to the Crows on her behalf. What can I say? I was young and foolish at the time. Then, as I was kissing her goodbye to return to Antiva City, she slipped on the threshold and fell backwards out of the carriage. Broke her neck. Shame, really, but at least it happened quickly.
Were you upset?
At first, yes. Well, not upset. Surprised is really a better word. Then I found out that she had told the driver to take her to Janellen instead. She had planned to lose me in the provinces. I would have looked very foolish to the Crows. As it was, my master was very impressed that I had done such a fine job of making it look like an accident. The Circle of Magi was unaware of foul play, and everyone was happy all around.
Except for the mage.
I suppose, but she was dead. She didn't need to be happy. It was after that when I learned that one needn't let a pretty face go to your head. Professionalism was key. That's my moral of the day, you see.
Well, I suppose that's a good lesson to learn.
And one that not everyone learns, I'm sad to say. But that's enough tale spinning from me for the moment. Talking about the mage has made me a bit nostalgic, I'm afraid. Ah, the good old days. What say you? By all means.
I have questions. Tell me of your adventures.
Again? Well now, what might interest you, I wonder? Shall I describe the stages involved with Lanthrax poisoning? I watched a man go through all 7 once.
If you like.
No, I'll not inflict that upon you just yet. Let's see. How about the largest battle I ever took part in? That would have been the slaughter of Prince Azrin. Did you hear of that down in these parts?
I doubt it.
Prince Azrin was 4th in line to the throne, you see. He started off as 11th, but worked his way up the old-fashioned method by inheriting control of an entire Crocel from his grandfather. After assassinating his way through the royal family, the king hired 3 other cells to take down Prince Azrin once and for all. I was in one of those cells.
So this was a big deal then?
Antivan royalty is very much bound up in the Crows. You wouldn't want it run by a bunch of commoners, after all, would you? And this means they get involved in politics quite often. This particular fight nearly bankrupted the nation, I understand. It almost ended up putting a Crow on the throne, a commoner. But that's a whole different story. I played a very small part.
What'd you do?
My part in the entire battle was taken up trying to reach Princess Verina, who had thrown in with her brother. I killed about 11 of her guards personally before I got knocked out of a window. I landed in a river and nearly drowned. I was fished out by some urchins who robbed me blind. Made off with my boots, too. At least they didn't cut my throat. And that was my part in history.
Man, I hate that they have the dog randomly bark in the background. I get that probably it's realistic, but it makes it so hard to concentrate on what people are saying when, like, it's really emotional and then I'm like, yes, I get it. Roo. Shush. You got robbed by urchins.
I had to find my way back to the safe house, bruised and naked, and thankful to be alive. But there you go. Tale told. Let's be off before I tell more embarrassing stories, huh?
No, I'd kind of like to hear more embarrassing stories, but... Internet down? Internet not down. Twitch is down. Just Twitch? No. No, it seems like everything's down. Yep, this is lying when it's saying it's connected. Yep, there it is. It wouldn't be a morning if it didn't have Xfinity randomly shitting the bed.
What say you?
Oh, this is why we record these two.
By all means.
More adventures.
Well, the only one that's really worth telling is the story of the mission right before I came to Ferelden. But no, I would rather not. I shouldn't have said anything.
What's the problem?
Nothing that I would prefer to speak of. Perhaps another day, I'm sorry. What say you?
Questions? Tell me about Antiva.
Oh, you wish to know about Antiva, do you? The only way to truly appreciate it would be to go there. It is a warm place, not cold and harsh like this Ferelden. In Antiva it rains often, but the flowers are always in bloom. Or so the saying goes.
You don't want to go back?
It's not really a matter of wanting to go back. I cannot go. At least not yet. I hail from the glorious Antiva city, home to the royal palace. It is a glittering gem amidst the sand, my Antiva city. Do you come from someplace comparable?
Not from any glittering gem, no.
No? That is too bad. If you were, then surely you would spend as much time boasting about it as I do. You know what is most odd? We speak of my homeland, and for all its wine and its dark-haired beauties and the lilo flutes of the minstrels, I miss the leather the most.
Of course you do. Is that a euphemism?
It may as well be. But not this once, no. I mean the smell. For years, I lived in a tiny apartment near Antiva City's leather-making district, in a building where the crows stored their youngest recruits, packed in like crates. I grew accustomed to the stench, even though the humans complained of it constantly. To this day, the smell of fresh leather is what reminds me most of home more than anything else.
Sound like you've been away from home for a long time.
Oh, not so long, I know. It is my first time away from Antiva, however, and the thought of never returning makes me think of it constantly. Before I left, I was tempted to spend what little coin I possessed on leather boots I spotted in a store window. Finest Antivan leather, perfect craftsmanship. But I was a fool to leave them. I thought, Zevran, you can buy them when you return as a reward for a job well done. More the fool I, no?
Job of killing me, right?
Yes, and now here I am. One simply never knows what is to come next. How could I have suspected I would end up defeated by a Grey Warden, and then spared my life to fight the Darkspawn? I could not.
Oh, everyone makes mistakes.
Even Grey Wardens who spared the lives of assassins? Understood. Now, if it is all the same to you, I would prefer not to speak more of Antiva. It makes me wistful and hungry for a proper meal.
Big mood. It's back up. Is it back up? It is not back up. It's up, it's down, it's up, it's down, it's left, it's right. Let's just ignore it.
What say you?
Wrapping up anyway. More questions?
By all means.
Nope. Personal questions.
What say you? Oh, this should be good. What would you like to do?
Nope, I guess we're done with you. Okay, I'm like, oh, certainly there's still something to talk about here. Nope, not really. Well, we're only at 3 hours. That's pretty long. God, it's weird that I've gotten to the point where I'm like, oh, well, we're only at 3 hours. Why don't we make this fucking 5? No, I'm gonna do... Well, Normally, when I take a break, I go and upload this video to YouTube, set the tags and everything and the timestamps, and then once that's done uploading, I come back and possibly upload a second video, but because Xfinity's being a little shit right now, what do? I could just hop on and record the next episode immediately, but I'd like to stream. Yeah, tell you what, I'm gonna take a little bit of a break, walk around, clean a bit, shower, open up the windows, water my plants, you know, morning stuff. Then I'll be back later. If you're watching on YouTube, and of course, at this point, you can only be watching on YouTube because I cannot have internet. Until tomorrow, I'm gonna be saying toodaloo, take care, I'll see you then, bye-bye.